Thank you, Charlie. Always a pleasure. LSU and A&M Saturday at Tiger Stadium. Our final speaker, of course, is a native of Gretna, was an outstanding high school player and Archbishop Shaw All-State performer. Led them deep into the playoffs in a forgetful game down on the Bayou. We still talk about that. Went to Ole Miss and had a great career. Was MVP of the Senior Bowl, and of course played professionally for the New Orleans Saints for 4 years. Played indoor ball, played in the Canadian League, coached as well, and now he decided he'd rather do some analyzing, which he does for ESPN 100.3 FM, a Saints post-game show that he does there. And of course, he's the proud uncle of Chase. So there you go. So please give a warm welcome to John Fourcade. John?
Thank you, Kenny. Yes, first before we get started, congratulations to all the coaches and best of luck to you guys. I didn't quite get there, but we won't go into that like Kenny said. I still wasn't over the line of scrimmage, but yeah, Daniels is sitting here. He'll probably bring up the tape, but I'm thrilled to be here again and speak. I got my other nephew here. Taylor's with me. He's wearing his Nicholls State shirt because we were very proud about Nicholls State. My nephew is quarterback at Nicholls. They made the FCS playoff for the first time since '05, so we'll be there this weekend cheering those guys on. I'm just glad we're not in South Dakota and we're playing it back here instead of being up there in the cold and the snow. But I'll talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints. And in regards this weekend, Kenny had talked about my show. We started our show at 3 p.m. Sunday when it was 31-16, and the producer said, do you guys want to go on or you want to wait till the game's end? And we said, let's just go on now. It was pretty much 31-16. We were getting our notes designed and ready to roll to say, you know, what's the reason how the Saints lost this football game? And trust me, we were getting there, we were talking about it. It was not negative, but it was just things that we saw in the game, what was going on in the game. We thought the Saints were pretty flat in this football game. We thought Washington took it to them early and often. A couple of guys got hurt throughout the football game, and as we were discussing our show, and I had to tell Gus and talk back to the audience by saying, hey, the game's not over with yet, but we're just kind of getting our show started, telling them how we're going to talk about if they were to lose this game. And then we realized, can we start over? Because it went to 31-31 that quick, 30 minutes into our show, and we wanted to start over and talk about the good things the Saints have done in this football game. And but the only good things happened with 5 minutes left for the game. It was a game where and I believe this, and I'll always believe this, they put 60 minutes on the clock for a reason. You play 60 minutes of football. You know, Washington did a great job playing 55 minutes of football. The game wasn't over with when it was 31-16, and my take was that they felt like the Saints just couldn't score enough points against their defense, and if we had to, we'll stop them on a two-point conversion and win the game. As the game went along, you know, the offense wasn't really doing much offensively throughout the game, only scored 15 points going into the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. 16 points. So as the defense, it was getting wore out. Let's be honest, Cousins had a pretty good football game. Washington Redskins did some things against us that nobody's done pretty much all season. When you start out 0-2 and you lead the league in defense like we've done in the past, and all of a sudden now we have one of the top 10 defenses in the league, sooner or later, something's going to catch up with you. And the Redskins came in, a very good quarterback, pretty good offensive performance by them, as well as their defense. I don't know what happened. I can't really pinpoint what the change was. I really believe that Washington sat on it. And I will say this, though, when you got to the fourth quarter, and you give Drew Brees the football, and you play prevent defense, and Ed's been around, a lot of guys been around. Prevent defenses, I'm just saying this to you coaches here, you get been around long. Prevent defense prevents you from winning football games. I'm going to say that here. It will prevent you from playing a football, from winning. I thought if they would put more pressure on the Saints and did some things that maybe they could have won this football game. By sitting back there in the fourth quarter, playing zone defense, Drew picked them apart. Got down, scored. Washington felt like we get the ball back, we'll be okay. Thank God for a penalty. It helped the New Orleans Saints. The penalty was a intentional grounding. You know, some people say, well, you know, there were receivers in the area, but when they're running slant routes and you're throwing the ball to the cheerleaders on the sideline, that's what you get called for in the pocket. And then, you know, they held him on third one. Manti Te'o and his girlfriend, the Maddie and everyone that we still trying to find, made a great call on 3rd and 1. And Manti did a fantastic job of stopping them, and having them punt the football. It's still, You okay there, Ed? I had to bring that up, man. I'm still looking for that girlfriend to help out. But anyhow, in that situation there, that's a great play to the defense. They make first down, games over with. And then going into the overtime period when the Saints got, before that, the Saints got it back. What a great play by Kamara. He catches the football, bobbles it, runs down, catches it again, runs in, scores a touchdown. And then the two-point conversion. That's the hardest play in football is the two-point conversion. You don't have much yardage to score your two-point conversion. What a great call. Get the ball to your best player's hands. You know, Ingram's played well all year long. They were not going to have Ingram down there. It's Kamara. That's what they want to get the football to. Great play. We also got to give credit to the guy who blocked, the tight end. Remember, he has to hold his block for a long period of time. Mostly in the NFL, they can call offensive holding out there for that period of time. Great call, great play. We tied up. We go to overtime. You knew it was over with then. Saints rose to the occasion. Played some extremely good football in the overtime. They're 8-2, 8 wins in a row. That hasn't happened in a very long time in the NFL. When you start out 0-2, people want to go back to the 09 season, the game against the Washington Redskins, propelled the New Orleans Saints to get to that Super Bowl, to go into Miami. Let's just hope it's the same thing this year. Maybe the Washington Redskins are their genie, rub the bottle and get the genie out. That's why the Saints are where they're at now. It doesn't get any easier because they do go on the road to play a very good Rams team in LA. It's a tough trip to go play on the West Coast anytime you have to go out that way. The Rams are throwing the football, scoring a lot of points. The Saints are beat up right now a little bit on the defensive side of the football. We don't know what Lattimore's injury. We do know it's an ankle. Don't know. The Saints don't really tell you much about their injury report. I saw a tweet where he says he'll be back or whatever it may be, but we shall see. Losing Okafor doesn't help a little bit up front. They got some players banged up. You know, will Kenny Vaccaro come back? We'll see there. They got to get healthy in the stretch run. It's crucial that the remaining of the games against a lot of division opponents. So, you got Carolina coming in. You got to play Atlanta twice in December. And you got Tampa Bay down the road. But right now they got to take care of business, get healthy defensively, offensively. I don't think the Saints offensively has played their best game of the year yet. I think the fourth quarter and the overtime was so far their best offensive performance. I think when it comes down to it, the Saints offense has got to go out and win. And Kenny and I talked about this earlier. They might have to get back to scoring a lot of points now to help out the defense until they can get back healthy. All right, with all that being said, I still think the Saints can go out there and win 9 in a row. I think they can take care of the Rams. I predict that they will go out there and take care of the Rams. So on your sheet here, if you're asking for some advice, pick the Saints against the Rams. Any questions? I'll open it up to anyone in far as questions. I see some hands coming up. Wesley, what's up?
I just wanted to know, do you think that this game is a turning point for Kobe Fleener, or is it just a one-time shot because of what you said with the prevent defense being so open?
Well, where was he at all year long? Where was he at earlier? Sometimes you just got 60 minutes football. You wait for your time to what they're calling on defense. It presented to them what they're going to do offensively. Sometimes you get lost in the game. They probably lost him all game. Like the Saints aren't throwing to him, so why not, cover him with a tight end or someone of that nature. But he had a step forth game. I think he came out and played well. I think he had 5 receptions and did very well there. And there's weapons on the offensive side of football. My question basically is, where is Willie Snead? He's got to start stepping up and helping out like he's done in the past.
The thing I saw is,
I can hear you.
okay, the thing I saw when we were there is how much they started to just stay with Kamara no matter where he went. It's like they held the door for him when he went to the bathroom. I mean, they went wherever.
That's good. That's good because in our replay at the end of the game when we're doing our show, we talked a lot about that. We thought the Washington Redskins sort of knew what the New Orleans Saints were doing. They had a lot of things, a lot of plays that were going on in that football game where their guys were covered. We saw one episode that Thomas was running a sail route and the DB was already at the sail route. And then you saw Thomas turn around. But that's because of them studying either that or John Gruden spent dinner with, Sean Payton, and he ended up telling his brother what was going on because they knew a lot about what the New Orleans Saints was doing in that football game. Any other questions?
I know IR has changed the rules. When is he eligible? When's he eligible to come off, and do they think he's going to come off as soon as he's in?
And who's this?
Anzalone, linebacker.
That's a good question. There's I know the there's a short-term IR. I think there's only two, and you guys, I think it's just, yeah, it's 8 weeks, but I think it's only 2 players that you only have 2 players off. You know, 2 players you put on short-term. It's 8 weeks from the time that they put him on the IR. So I'm sure he's not quite eligible yet to come off the short-term if he's one of the guys that they bring off.
But he is on 8, is that correct? He is on 8?
He can come off. He's on the short-term IR. He's not on the long-term IR. Pretty much. Let me verify. When you get hurt, they put you on the IR. They can take anybody off the IR and make it an 8-week IR, or they can let you stay for the rest of the year. I mean, they don't have to sit there and say, Kenny, you're on the IR. You're only on it for 8 weeks, or you're on it for the rest of the year. It used to be the old days when they put you on the IR, you're done for the season. Now they did a rule where you could take 2 guys off the IR after 8 weeks. Any other questions? Well, thanks again. Oh, you got one right here. I'll take the last one right here.
I know you're very excited right now about, you're a little bit outside the same. I know you're excited about Chase and what he's done in Nicholls State. If Nicholls State gets it done, could they have a great chance in the FCS, just like Southeastern did about 3-4 years ago?
Well, here's my take on the Nicholls. You know, if they win this game, they got to play Sam Houston State again. And last I remember, it was a 66-17 shellacking in Sam Houston at their university. But you never know what happens second time around. Maybe they'll learn from this. But they got to take care of business. South Dakota's coming in with a really good quarterback. He's a young man that went to Minnesota. They tried to move him to wide receiver. Didn't like it. Transferred to South Dakota. He runs for almost 700 yards this year. Threw for 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They're going to have their hands full this weekend. But look, I think Nicholls State will be ready for them. Let's just take care of this business before we worry about going play Sam Houston. And if it happens, it happens. And the road doesn't get easier. These are some good football teams in the FCS. I promise you that. There's some really good, talented players that are playing. And so I'm just excited and looking forward to it. And I know Taylor's looking forward to it. He's got his Nicholls shirt on there. He thought we were going to Nicholls today to watch him practice, but I didn't nip that in the bud. I went there yesterday to get my tickets, and now I'm sitting in the nosebleed. That's how important this game was in the ticket sales. But I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also looking forward to watching the Saints win their 9th game in a row. So let's pull them on and cheer. And thanks again for having me here, guys. And if anybody can find out if Matt Toteo's girlfriend, they were around, let us know. They can find her.